Is this working?
Yes,
Yeah,
it's working.
perfect. So, good morning. My name is Carlos Ralli. I'm going to try to give a snapshot on how to build up future internet apps, right? And how to start to exploit the future internet lab that Juanjo was describing before. Also, I will be describing how you can do IoT, Internet of the Things, with FIWARE and FiLab. So first thing is, why do we want to make future internet apps? But I can keep talking, or? All right, perfect. So the point is that future internet apps are part of what we call the economy of applications in Europe, right? This is expected to bring 5 million jobs in total and 63 million euros in the economy. So here we go. These life things, these things happen. Okay, we can go on then. So I was saying that this will bring 5 million jobs in Europe and 63 million euros income. So the story is that we will be able to build future internet apps in sectors like energy, like smart cities, like agri-food contents, etc., and tourism and environment. So what is the idea? The idea is to roll out future internet applications, and the first point is to develop your idea. So what you need first? You need to have an idea, of course. Later, you need to select the enablers. You need to access the FiLab. You need to deploy your virtual machines in the cloud, and you need to develop your application, right? Once you have this, you need to integrate and test. So what is the first point? First point is the catalog. This is the port to the applications in FiWARE. This is the point where you will access the generic enablers, where you will access all the information and documents. And this is how it looks like. First, you have the data enablers. You have the application enablers. You have the IoT. You have the cloud. You have the context broker, which is kind of a central element of the platform. And you have the authentication elements. So this is how it looks like. We are connecting different resources, right? And we are connecting different smart cities, right? Trento, Seville, Malaga, Santander, etc. So in different hackathons, you will see that we are able to connect different Internet of the Things, right? And actually, most of the winners, they are always presenting projects that are related with the Internet of Things. So they are normally dealing with the Raspberry Pi, with the sensors that we are providing to them. And we have been able really to involve massive numbers of developers, right? So in the inauguration of the Future Internet Lab, for instance, we were able to involve more than 6,000 developers in the campus party, right? Not all were presenting projects in the end, but many of them were succeeding to build a product-like solution over FiWARE. The inauguration of the FiLab was done by Nelly Cross. And this is another hackathon, for instance, that we were present in. And here, we got some projects also related with Internet of Things. So we were able, for instance, to have a team dealing with robots, another dealing with traffic heat map, right? And you can see that the Internet of the Things really is something that normally developers are interested in. So the first big thing came with the FiWARE challenges, right? This was presented in the campus party of Brazil some 1.5 months ago. And here the first prize was up to 75K euros. And we were able to see also some projects related with the Internet of Things that I will describe. So just focusing on the Internet of Things, we have two main enablers, right? One is in the cloud, that is what we call DCA, and the other one is a kind of gateway that we are using open hardware, namely the Raspberry Pi, right? So this is how the reference scenario on IoT looks like when we are going to the hackathons. So normally, we have cities that are contributing with sensor information and open data. And we are connecting all this city information and sensors through the cloud IoT solution, which is the DCA. And this fits the context broker, that is like the central element of the platform, where we can connect user interfaces, big data, data sets, etc. Then normally, in the local premises, we also set up some Raspberry Pis with some sensors connected that are feeding information up to the cloud. And basically, developers can build up their applications on top of the context broker, the cloud enablers, big data, context broker, etc., that my colleagues will explain later. So this is how it looks like from the technical point of view. We are working mainly in the upper layer of the gateway only. As I said before, we are working with open hardware like the Raspberry Pi. I'm sure you all know this. This has been a great success. They have been able to sell more than 2 million of these devices. It's a full computer where you can run a Linux, right? And you can also develop some open hardware like this small card that is plugged here in the GPIO port. And basically, the role of this card is to talk with any technology of the Internet of the Things you want to. So for instance, in this case, this is talking Z-Wave protocol. So it's able to talk to this kind of sensors. This is the typical humidity, light, presence, and something else like battery sensor. But the point is that the technology is changing so much that, as said before, is the anniversary of Tim Berners-Lee. We are getting devices like this where you can run a full IP stack, including the web server, right? Normally, we are not using HTTP and TCP here because it's not efficient for this kind of devices. We are using other standards like REST over CoAP over UDP. But in the end, it's the same, right? We have REST interfaces over UDP for these devices. And these are the kind of things that we are trying to integrate and to offer to others. So we are not doing gateways and we are not doing devices, but what we are doing to give in the end is an open source solution for the gateways and for the open hardware related with these IP sensors. Then that will be a reference for integrators to use as in their scenarios, right? This will connect all the information to the cloud, normally the M2M IoT platform or the context broker. So said before, we will work in the upper layer of the gateway and use these nice new standards. So this is all to bring this kind of devices into the loop and later to transform them into nice things that will be really connected to the internet. Thanks to the design of FIWARE, also we are able to integrate in a very easy and fast way new trends, new technologies like the iBeacons, for instance. I didn't bring anyone with me, but in the other booths you can see this technology because it's supported by Apple and people like Qualcomm, and that makes it really powerful. And basically they are using this. This was used by participants in the hackathons of FIWARE to bring this technology for retail shops, right? To increase the user experience in retail shops thanks to this technology. And finally, we have some kind of prototyping interfaces with Wired Cloud, where the developers of FIWARE can build up widgets, and they can be published, and they can be shared with other developers in a very easy way. So this is it. The point is that it's pretty easy to build up applications over FIWARE, that you just need to dig into the catalog, right? That has the web interface where you can easily find all the enablers. Later, you just need to understand how our REST APIs work. And finally, if you want to integrate IoT things, you can come later to the tables where we are explaining how to do that. OK? Thank you.